those who are trying to stop transgender students, kids, from playing in youth sports would have you believe that there are these entire boys baseball teams out there now saying they are going to switch genders so they can be on the softball team and win a state championship. Yet none of these stories actually exist anywhere. This isn't really about gender equity in school sports, is it?
That's absolutely right, Stephanie. First off, it's great to be on with you and Congresswoman Newman. This is a cruel and mean-spirited solution in search of a problem. This is part and parcel of a longer-term trend of stoking fears, spreading misinformation, and pretending like there's some sort of trans panic that needs to occur in our state legislatures. These bills that would ban trans kids from fully participating in sports, these bills trying to eliminate access to health care, would have dangerous consequences for our kids. This is legislative bullying, plain and simple. And frankly, I think it's an effort to try to distract from the failures of Republican leadership at the federal and state level, because while these legislatures are trying to push forward this politics of prejudice, Democratic legislatures in my state and elsewhere are passing higher minimum wage laws. We're passing paid family and medical leave. We're talking about skills training and lowering the cost of higher education, while these legislators, let's be clear, are trying to make life so difficult for trans young people that they never grow up to be adults. That's what this is about.
A life that's already so difficult. Congresswoman, you have said that your daughter was so depressed before she transitioned that she thought about suicide or running away. What kind of pressure are these trans kids dealing with?
You know, when kids are so young, they don't understand what's happening to them or their bodies or their minds, right? So they immediately go to the darkest corner, and rightfully so, because they have very few positive images to look at. Thank God for Senator McBride. I'm so appreciative for her voice and her work, because my daughter looks to that and says, I can be that one day. When she was coming out 5.5 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the case. So we need more positivity in the public. And Senator McBride is exactly right. The reason that they are putting together these legislative policies and laws is they're trying to justify their hate, Stephanie. Let's be very, very clear with this. When you know you're wrong, you dig in and you justify your hate when you're a bully. And this is legislative bullying at its finest.
Again, I invite any of these lawmakers to come on and show me any concrete examples of this happening in youth sports that needs to be stopped. We couldn't find any on our research team. Senator, this bill does obviously hurt trans kids the most, but how do they also hurt the trans community at large and really all Americans?
All of these legislative efforts, whether we're talking about bills restricting access to health care, bills around school sports, or the anti-trans bathroom bills we saw in North Carolina in 2016, are all part of the same effort. Because even beyond the trans people, especially the trans young people impacted directly by these bills, it puts a target on the backs of all trans people, all trans youth. It singles them out for differential treatment and singles them out for bullying, for discrimination, even for violence. We have seen time and time again that the words and actions of elected officials have consequences. And when state legislators and members of Congress put forward cruel and mean-spirited policies, when they mock and ridicule trans people, they give license to others in this country who would do the same in our schools, in our workplaces, in our communities. And in some cases, it has deadly consequences.
I want to show what a trans high school sophomore told the Senate Judiciary Committee earlier this week. Please watch.
Less than half of the states in our country provide equal protection for me under the law. What happens if I want to attend a college in a state that doesn't protect me? Right now, I could be denied medical care or be evicted for simply being transgender in many states. How is that even right?
Congresswoman, this girl is 16 years old. When I was 16, I promise you, I was not doing one productive thing whatsoever. This young woman is worried about housing and medical care. How urgent is it for the Senate to pass the Equality Act?
It's critically urgent. And as I said on my House floor speech, that it was the right thing to do decades ago. It's very much the right thing to do right this second. And I encourage my colleagues that are worried about bathrooms and red herrings, because that's what all this is. And you're exactly right, Stephanie. There was an AP reporter that did the same exercise that you and your producers did. Not even an anecdote. Not a study, not an anecdote, not a situation. There was absolutely no proof. So you're correct on that. But it is urgent to get this done, that transgender females, and particularly transgender women of color, are 5 times more likely to commit suicide, are 10 times more likely to be discriminated in terms of healthcare, education, employment, and housing. So your whole life is affected. We must have equality. And by the way, all we're asking for is equality. We're not asking for anything special. So throwing out red herrings like the Republicans are doing all day long, they're going against their constituents. 80% of this country is very approving of the Equality Act. So I'll leave it to these Republican legislators in the state level, as well as my colleagues in Congress. I would make a better decision morally, because it's the right thing to do to pass the Equality Act. But I would think about it politically, because you've got 80% of your constituents supporting the Equality Act. So it's probably not a great political idea either.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.